What is up, you heathens and demons, you beautiful, blasphemous people? Welcome back to the Raging Atheist. I'm your boy Nakasuchi. Seeing my chat is popping off. Loving it. Loving it. All I ask is no hate speech. Guzman, no slurs. Have at it. Alright, so I'm feeling a lot better. My leg is almost 100%. Feeling good to go. So tonight at midnight, I should have my long overdue conversation with C.K. Blackwood about the protest down and at the Make America Straight Again conference. That will be at midnight, maybe a little after. And we're going to really try to do this the way I want to do this. So I'm thinking that we'll play a few of Sassy's videos. We're going to be featuring Sassy Atheist. Everybody say what's up to Sassy. She is, let me get this out of the way. She is currently at 92 subscribers. So we need to really try to push her up over 100 subscribers. So anybody that's watching this, if you have not checked out Sassy Atheist, now is your chance to do so. We're going to be watching 2 or 3 of her videos, and then there will be a intermission. And hopefully Streamlabs will let me do what I'm going to try to do. If not, we might have to start a new stream to have about a half-hour long interview with Sassy, just talking about her channel and the direction she's going to go, her vision. Give y'all another chance to meet Sassy. I'm going to start trying to do that with all of these channel features that I do. This is a new thing, so working out the kinks. So yeah, this is her page. Sassy Atheist. I've been a subscriber since she first came onto my page, pretty much. I try to watch videos. I'm terrible at watching videos. Time is always an issue with me, but I have watched a few of her videos, and they're all pretty good. I think that they're raw, kind of like what we saw with One Atheist, One Witch last week. She's a brand new YouTuber, and I think beyond that, she's fairly new to atheism, and we'll find that out when we have our interview. So this should be interesting. I really enjoy checking out brand new YouTubers. I wish that there would, that I had known of. I'm not saying, I don't know, there might have been, but that I had known of, slightly bigger YouTube channels where I can go wet my beak. I try to be that, and I'm going to continue to try to be that. No matter how big I grow. So I'm going to always try to stay true to what I'm doing right now. I really enjoy meeting not just new atheists, but new YouTubers. If you're a Christian YouTuber and you'd like me to feature you, well, I'd probably be highly critical, but I'm willing to do that as well. So we have Guzman in the chat. Now, I understand that Guzman is a polarizing figure. He's a 12-year-old boy. I have expressed a lot of compassion for Guzman, and I still have a lot of compassion for Guzman, but I also understand that sometimes harshness is needed to teach a lesson. So I would just say that just keep in mind that Guzman is 12, and try to respect that fact in any of your criticisms of Guzman. I'm not going to sit here and look much at the chat. You guys know how I am. I try to go through and see what's going on. I really do want to ask people not to hide people from the channel. I want to be able to see the deleted messages when I do go back and make sure that everything's on the up and up. So if you delete the person from the channel and I still haven't figured out how to get these people back on, then I can't see that. So we're going to get into Sassy's channel. One of the main videos I've watched, she gets really emotional. So I'm really, back and forth. Maybe we should do that, maybe not. But I think we will, because I find it powerful, and I think that it's a part of her channel that she should grow. So we're going to start with that. Apology video to Rachel Oates. This is a good video. Might be hard for Sassy to watch. Some of these emotional videos can be really hard to go back and watch them. So, but I found this to be powerful. I think that this really kind of is similar to what I'm trying to do with my Atheist Story series. And, this morning I didn't do what I really wanted to do in that short little conversation about my leg. So I think I'm going to have an atheist story on my leg, really going in depth and planning out the conversation. And, I like it when people get attach themselves to that emotion. And in this video, she's going to talk about, where she was at as a Christian before she became an atheist. And as atheists, I think we all have reasons for some anger, and I know some atheists really try not to portray that in the public sphere because they don't want to tarnish the label atheism any more than it already is. But I really appreciate it when atheists are just genuine in themselves and recognize the past and don't run away from the past. It's what I try to do, and this is what I really appreciate about this video. So we're going to check this out. I'm going to try to be quiet. And if you guys haven't seen this, it is going to get emotional. And I think it's a good message. I think it's a good thing to look back at the things we do in our theism, to feel guilt for them, but get that shit out so you don't have to feel guilt because you was indoctrinated into this shit. And you should embrace this, Sassy. This should be a part of your shtick, I think. Talking about some of these things that you might have done as a Christian that you do regret and talking about them openly. I think that will help a lot of new atheists coming into atheism. But let's check it out.
Hi everyone, Sassy Atheist here. Today I'm going to be talking about when how I preached on Instagram and all what happened a couple of years ago. For a long time, since then, I've been struggling so much, debating on whether or not to make a video about this, because I've been worried about the outcome and what people might think or say about me. On Instagram a couple years ago, I identified myself as an evangelical Christian, even though deep down I knew something wasn't right. I didn't like how I had become, the person that it was starting to make me.
All right, so right there, she's given a very accurate, detailed description, I think, of a lot of our journeys out of theism and into atheism. For a long time, we had that doubt, and we pretty much have that feeling that we know God isn't real, and yet we still go through the everyday steps of our everyday routine. We try to put that Christian face out to the world so people don't know. We're deeply ashamed of that doubt because we're indoctrinated to be ashamed of that doubt. She does a really good job right there of capturing that.
But I had kept preaching, and I found myself just commenting, trying to find something that I disliked to comment and to preach God's word. And I know I shouldn't have done it. It was wrong, and I did hateful preaching. And so it was around Christmas time, and I commented on a woman's Christmas tree, and she's an atheist, and that woman is Rachel Oates. And maybe some of you might have wondered why I don't talk about her much when I talk about a lot of other YouTubers. Is because of that. It's because I have a sort of a history with her, and I still feel so ashamed of what had happened 2 years ago.
Hey, I see Will is in the chat. Yeah, I've kind of ignored you, Will. Not intentionally. I've just been laid up for the last few days. I'll send you a text message either tonight or tomorrow because I want to talk to you about what's been going on with you.
I remember just telling her that she shouldn't celebrate Christmas and that it was an abomination that she supported gay and transgender people. And later on I saw that she had made a video about me and about Christmas and atheists, and she showed the comments that I made, I did show my profile picture was a picture of what I look like. So when I saw that, I felt so ashamed. I felt so much guilt, and I was scared.
Well, and I think to put a little bit of context, and not to put words into Sassy's mouth, but to put a little bit of context on this video, I think Sassy's story might be a little bit different than a lot of new YouTubers because she has had interaction with bigger YouTubers. So Twitter is a remarkable thing. I wish I had utilized it when I first started doing YouTube. because she's had interactions with these people. So she had a very good reason to worry about Rachel remembering who she was, maybe calling her out publicly. And that's got to be a terrifying thing for a new atheist. Especially if you're trying to be a public atheist, you're trying to have a public voice, and there's a really big platform that, as a theist, you had ridiculed harshly. It has to be terrifying for a small YouTuber, brand new to YouTube and brand new to atheism, to worry about that. So, I mean, just to kind of empathize with where Sassy was leading up to this video, I could totally empathize with that. You know, like had I been a new atheist when I first discovered YouTube and saw, or had I still been a Christian when I first discovered YouTube and saw all these atheists on YouTube, I probably would have reacted in the same way back then. It's just there wasn't a YouTube, there wasn't even a MySpace when I was a Christian.
Scared. So I kept it bottled up inside. I thought I could just end up forgetting about it or not letting it bother me. But it
Oh, you gotta love our good friend Intellectual Bot. Atheists aren't victims, so I mean, what about all the atheists that were killed for, being atheists and not believing in God? I always fuck up the pronunciation. I call it hearsay, and I know it's not. It's like heresy, heresy. I always fuck up the pronunciation. So what about all the atheists that were persecuted, burned to death based upon those laws? What about all the women accused of witchcraft? Some of them actually thought they were witches, but they were accused of impossible crimes that couldn't fucking happen, and they were burned alive for it. Were they not victims, dude? I mean, do you not understand history at all?
did. The guilt was eating up me inside. I went into such deep depression. I hardly ate. I didn't have much of an appetite. I felt sick to my stomach. I didn't want to get out of bed. And my whole past of regrets came back basically to haunt me. And I would cry almost every day. I was just so tired and tired of feeling that way. So I couldn't make a public apology. I couldn't make an apology to you, Rachel, because you had blocked me. But I did ask someone that I was talking to message you. I don't know if she did or not. But I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I hurt you if I did hurt you. I'm sorry that I said some hateful things.
I mean, it's a very brave thing to apologize for bad behavior, especially when you didn't realize it was bad behavior at the time you was committing that behavior. You know, there's people that when I was an athlete in high school, before I hurt my ankle, and I was just probably one of the most arrogant pricks in the world. There's people that I mistreated that and it's not that I'm afraid of apologizing to them for that. It's just I'm more afraid of, not even really afraid, but if I were to go down to North Carolina just to show my face, as active as I've been with left-wing politics over the last 20 years since I've left North Carolina, there's a very good chance that I will be in a very public brawl with a bunch of people, get my ass kicked, if not like burned at the stake in the middle of the town square of the small North Carolina town I'm from, but I would love to go and do that, but it's a very brave thing to do that. And it's even more brave thing to do it in a very public platform like YouTube, which might be the only way you could reach a person like Rachel. I mean, she's all the way across the pond. She's a huge YouTuber. And I know for a fact that Rachel has seen this. So I bet it went a long way in making her feel better, knowing that, at least one person out there has regretted some of the horrible things they've said to her. Imagine how many people have said how much horrible shit to Rachel Oates over the course of the time she's been on YouTube. Shit, I've not been on YouTube near as long, and I've gotten some horrible, horrible shit from theists. So, I mean, it's a very brave thing, Sassy.
To you. I'm sorry for everything that I said to anyone else on there. I've grown up so much and I've learned so much, and I became a lot better person. I don't expect you to forgive me. I don't expect you to have sympathy for me. But I do hope that one day maybe you can come and we can make amends and that we could start over. You can forgive me what I've done. I'm really truly sorry. I was so hurt, and for 2 years I felt shame and guilt because of what I did. I'm I just I hope that we can make amends because what I did was wrong. And I know that you're probably a good person and that you're smart and you're logical. And how I was acting, how I treated you was not right. How I treated everyone else just because of being a Christian. I've I got a lot of
I could really see this video just like really ticking some Christians off. I'll have to go back and see how the Christians are reacting to this because, it's quite odd when you leave religion to actually find more morality. It's quite odd from a Christian standpoint that most have about how atheists can't have morality if we don't have God. Yet we seem to just do and be better people generally as a whole, I think, when we leave that religion behind. I personally was a douchebag when I was a Christian, and Guzman in the chat or any other fundamental evangelical Christian in the chat would probably think I was a good person back then. To where I look back at that person and I see a terrible human being.
courage to make this video a public video. I'm not doing it to draw attention to myself. I'm doing it because it needs to be done. I need closure. I need closure. I need to make amends. Whether you could, will you believe me, whether you forgive me, regardless of that, I still need to make a public apology, and I have to live with that shame of that video being on the internet for the rest of how long it will be on YouTube. And so,
See, and what she did here, and hopefully she realizes it now, sometimes it takes time, is what she did here is she got that poison out. I talk about that shit a lot. You hold that poison in, it's gonna fucking poison you. But if you get that poison out, well, then you can start to heal. You can start to be whole. So she got this poison out, and I guarantee you that she doesn't have to feel shame about this anymore, especially because, I know that Rachel has reached out to her. This doesn't have to be a point of shame anymore. This can be a point of pride.
I learned from my mistake, and I hope that you can forgive me. And I hope that you can see that I'm a good person. And I don't mean harm. And I care about people. And that I realized so much since becoming atheist. I I hope that everyone else who might remember me who watches her channel and watch that video will realize it too. I'm not doing this for attention. I'm doing it because it needs to be done. And I need closure. I don't know if you'll see this video, if you'll watch this video. But if you do, like, I hope that you can message me either on by email or by Twitter, and that we can make amends, and that down the road we could hopefully be friends. Um, um, Thank you everyone for watching this video. Um,
All right, it's a very brave thing to do that. I can't tell you how many times, almost every single atheist story video I've ever made, or any video to where I really just go really personal, videos I've made about drama with my family. I need to reach out to Free Speech Podcast because we're talking about bringing her on to have a conversation about that very subject, and I'm really looking forward to that conversation. My leg got all jacked up, and I've been offline pretty much constantly for 3 days. But so I'm gonna reach back out to her and make that happen because it's very hard. It's a very hard thing to do, and I can't tell you how many times those videos where I've went back and my reaction, my everything inside of me is telling me to not upload or to delete, delete, watch it back once I upload, and I'm like, fuck, I need to delete it. But you gotta overcome that because these videos are really important. These videos show the humanity that we all have, whether you have a God or not, and that it doesn't take a God to have that humanity, to have that will to be a better person, to have that desire to change, to have that gumption of character. And I would say overcoming lies, recognizing lies, seeing truth. Well, that goes a long way towards building character, in my opinion. So let's watch her newest video. She's got a new one coming out. She's going to be live streaming. She's figuring out live streaming. So that'll do nothing but help her channel. And it'll help her grow and get comfortable in front of these cameras. That's the hardest thing for any new YouTuber. And it just takes time. It takes time to not even realize. Like, I don't even realize the fucker's there. I sit here and look at it, and it's like I'm looking at nothing. And that all takes time. What I really like about Sassy is she's young. She's so young. She has so much future ahead of her and so much growing. The atheist she is today is not the atheist she'll be tomorrow. That's how we all are. We all change and evolve. Go ahead and give her a thumbs up. I haven't watched this one yet. I might have watched it on YouTube or on Twitter because I do. She does send me some on Twitter and I check them out there. So I might have watched it, but I don't think I've watched this one yet.
Hi everyone, Sassy Atheist here. In today's video, I want to clarify this with everyone. I want to clarify to everyone that I am not against all religions and religious beliefs. I'm only against religions, such the beliefs that can be harmful to society and that can cause people to treat others differently and to be hateful, judgmental, and transphobic or homophobic, etc., and or racist. I I don't have any problems with the pagan religion. There's nothing really wrong with that. I haven't encountered one pagan that has tried to enforce their beliefs onto others or thought or believed that their uh, religion was the right one, was the only one, and all the other ones were completely false. Um, so I don't have any problems with that belief, but and I don't know about all the other different thousands of different religions, so I can't really I can't make an opinion about all of them.
See, this is brilliant. This is just showing immediate growth on her part because I think in our the first time she came on my channel, I explained my anti-theism and how it's mellowed out by looking at other religions outside of Christianity or outside of the Abrahamic religions. It's so easy to see religion as what we're most used to, which would be like Christianity, or if you're a Muslim, would be Islam, or if you're a Buddhist, it would be Buddhism. A Hindu, it all applies. It's so easy to equate religion to that, but there's so many religions out there that you just don't know or understand. Jainism is a perfect classic example of that. If you don't understand what Jainism is, the whole religion is based on nonviolence. There's nothing at all to dislike about Jainism outside of their somewhat irrational beliefs. but their irrational beliefs bears no harm on any other individual in this world. And once you study things like that, or once you study Native American spiritualities or old tribalism spiritualities or paganism, as she has so artfully pointed out, the more pagans I've gotten to know, the more I like paganism. Now, that's not saying that all pagans are great people, because like every other group, they're going to have their shitty people, Von Helton, but generally as a whole, most pagans that I've met aren't pushing their beliefs down your throat. So, I mean, it's just a natural progression. It's just a learning and growing. That's what life's about. And it seems that a lot of theists are stuck in the same spot because they're not allowed to learn new things.
Them because I don't know. I hardly know to don't know anything about them. But I hopefully I want to learn more about the major religions at least. Obviously, I know a lot about Christianity because I used to be Christian, and I did a lot of studying. And I plan to learn more about the Muslim religion, and so I can have a deeper and more conversations about that specific religious beliefs. But the point is that I just want to let everyone know that maybe you assume that I was anti religion, like against all religions. I am not. I'm just against those religions that are harmful to society and can make, and if those, and I'm against beliefs that can influence people to treat others disrespectfully and to hate others and to commit crimes and or to hate themselves and to um, believe that if they don't follow this certain rule, then they're going to be tortured or to be really punished. But anyway, so I wanted to make that clarification with everyone. Um, because I just want to just make sure that everyone knew that, because yes, there are some atheists, or maybe even a lot of atheists, that are against all religions, against all of them, and but for me it's different. I'm only
Well, yeah, and I think that's definitely true, and it's something that as I grow, that I need to understand that a lot of, especially newer atheists, younger atheists, are going to still have that rage that I had not so long ago. And in fact, and Sassy's experienced, and the experience of the man I'll be talking to later, CK, you can definitely tell that a lot of that anger is still there, and that's healthy. It's healthy to be angry when you've been lied to your whole life. That's very healthy. Overcoming that anger and moving on is the healthy conclusion to that. But having that anger, that's just natural. That's great. You should have that. I had that. That's why I named myself the Raging Atheist. I had a lot of rage, and you'll find that getting that poison out, you will grow and you will move beyond that. And I'm so far beyond that rage now that I have to look for it. Sometimes I need to have a Raging Atheist video, so I have to dig deep and find that anger again, because it's just not there unless I'm looking at the NIV. Then it's really, really easy to find it again.
against. I mean, I may not. I disagree. I may not agree with all the beliefs. All religions. I may not agree with their point of view and their beliefs, but I am not anti, religion against there, depending on what it is and how it affects how it affects people, how it affects the individual themselves. So anyway, so I hope you like this video. And if you have any questions or comments, you can leave them down below, or you can check me out at a Twitter. Thank you. I know this video is short, but it wasn't supposed to be long. It was just a like a quick clarification to.
Short videos are never a bad thing on YouTube, Sassy. I do these live shows, but a lot of when I make edited videos, if I go over 20 minutes, I'm like, this is way too long, and I do it sometimes, but really with an edited YouTube video, the best time I think is right around probably 10 minutes. Short videos are not a bad thing in an era where human beings don't have the attention spans that we used to. We have too much going on all around us all the time. So short videos are not a bad thing. Like that's why I have this rule in my open rooms now. No longer than 3 hours because people get turned off by really long videos. It could be the best video, the sandwich theology, you know, right in the middle of an 8 hour live stream. It's short videos are not a bad thing. Definitely not. And short videos can lead to a lot of content. A lot of content is going to bring every video you put out. You have potential of bringing new eyes to your channel. So we will do one more video before we take an intermission, and I will hopefully be able to get Sassy on without having to start another live stream. So let's check it out. Be respectful and civil towards one another. I like that title.
Hi, everyone.
I am the raging atheist, though, so there's a limit, Sassy.
Sassy Atheist here. I'm going to be talking about how I received harassment from atheists when I was a Christian and I was preaching on Twitter. And I'll also be discussing how we should be civil and respectful towards one another, regardless of who we are and regardless of our different beliefs. So I have received harassment and just hatred on both sides. I received hatred when I was a Christian, and I have received hatred when I became an atheist. Um, so I remember being told that I should be sterilized because we didn't need any more abominations being born to the world and spreading hateful propaganda. So and just I would also be sent explicit and just hateful pictures, and just I dealt with a lot as a Christian, and also I've dealt with a lot as an atheist. Um, and I had to take a break a few times from Twitter because of just how much hate I was receiving.
I mean, there's definitely a lot of toxicity in the atheist community, and I think that it kind of simmers beneath the surface. And I think that there's a lot of different directions a lot of people want to go when it comes to advocating for atheism, advocating for non-belief in a God. And I see it with my friend Callan. She has a lot of really bad interactions with atheists online, and it's one thing that I think if I'm not when my Twitter, I try not to be too toxic. I had a bad run of that on Facebook. So I try not to be too toxic, and I'm still figuring Twitter out and all that shit. But I do think that generally, as a whole, people need to stop being so quick to just crucify people. Like yesterday's hero is fucking nailed to a cross today, and I don't understand it. I understand calling out bad behavior or calling out bad ideas, but I don't understand, threatening people. I don't understand harassing people. I don't understand just being a toxic part of people's lives. And I know, like, the fans of Coffee and Bible Time are like, what the fuck are you talking about, dude? But it's different. Like, I'm not attacking them directly. I'm making response videos. They don't have to watch them. But like on Twitter, if you're just attacking somebody and you're just being vicious, it's like the thing that I've noticed about Twitter is it's so easy for humans to forget that they have humanity and just be trolls, and it's quite disgusting. And it's quite disgusting in people's just willingness to totally crucify people for whatever fucking reason. I think we should be about our fight about equality and about having freedom as atheists to say whatever the fuck we want to say, and without people looking down on us and thinking that we eat the fucking brains of babies like some dumbasses still fucking think.
from Christians, and just because I'm an atheist. And so, and I've also, like I said, received a lot of hate as a Christian when I was. And so, and then recently I was in a discussion with someone about abortion. And basically, I mean, they were against. They disagree with me, and I'm pro-choice, and so the person told me that I should abort myself. So so technically, they're telling me that I should kill myself, commit suicide.
Yeah, I will check my Twitter inbox. I'm a little behind on social media. Like today, like I said, my leg is a lot better. I've been able to do a lot of walking, and actually sitting here a bit more today. So I will check everything and get caught up.
Suicide, basically, and it's just I didn't understand, like, why. How can you try to? How can you expect others to see from your point of view? How can you expect others to um, come to a common ground with you if you are really hateful and all you do is just spread insults and hatred towards the person? How can you expect anything good to come out of the situation, really? um and I just there
I mean, I definitely agree with it almost all the time, but I do think that sometimes harshness is necessary, and I do that repeatedly on the Raging Atheist, and I think that what Sassy is referring to is indirect interactions, and I think that's important. Like I'll troll trolls on Twitter, and I'll troll them the way that they're trolling. But I'm not going to intentionally go out to hurt somebody's feelings. I'm not going to. I don't attack people on Twitter for being believers in God. Sometimes I will respond to stupid comments, but that's very rare. But I'm not big on Twitter like a lot of people are, because I do see that it's so easy to lose your humanity. It's so easy to sit there and troll. Like I can totally see how people get addicted to Twitter and just trolling people all day. I mean, I really, really love talking shit to the President of the United States. I'm surprised I'm not blocked yet. I'm probably being watched like right now.
This is one of the reasons why there's so many people that are just not talking to each other, or they hate each other, or we can't just have a civil discussion because of anger, of just hatred towards each other. And I don't care if you don't agree with a religious person's point of view, or beliefs, or if you're religious, you don't agree with non-believers.
And there's definitely a point to be said. Don't be afraid to be who you are, to represent who you are, but that doesn't have to require anger in those interactions. Now, you can be angry, and you can, there's perfect forums for that, like here on YouTube. Sitting here yelling at a camera is a lot better than yelling at somebody's face. Like she's saying, you're not going to reach people in those interactions. I was nice to Matt Powell because I'm not going to sit there and reach him at all if I'm calling him a motherfucker or calling him a little pussy. I'll save that for my YouTube videos. In that interaction, face to face, the only way I'm going to reach him is to show him my humanity, to show him that I am a human being, that I'm not a reprobate. And it's not going to work. They're still going to see you for what they see you. But you can be that representation. You can represent the best of yourself in those situations and save the worst for yourself to yell at a camera like I do.
We need to be respectful and civil towards each other. We
Oh yeah, sorry. Cupcake. I'm so bad at not using people's fucking names. It's like for the Raging Atheist, I really have a hard time being disrespectful. It's kind of weird. Like I can be a disrespectful douchebag and still like have a hard time not saying somebody's name. I don't know. I think it's a southerner thing probably.
We can't expect others to try to see from our point of view when all we're doing is yelling and insulting and
This one guy, if you have to be the best version of yourself because God wants it, you're not being the best version of yourself.
being hateful towards one another. There nothing good can come out uh, of a situation like that. We need to have respectful and civil discussions. And and I just want to also let religious people know is that I understand where you're coming from when you say or when you believe that we make the assumption that a lot of or even or all atheists are terrible people. I know I've witnessed it. A lot of Christians, deal with hateful, words and hateful messages from atheists. And so I don't want you to think that we're all like that. There are a lot of kind and caring and respectful
Yeah, there are, and there's still a lot of people really angry, I really like the point of this video, but would urge you, Sassy, to also understand that Christians do have this condescending way of trying to play the high road when they actually take the lowest road possible, and that's very infuriating for a lot of people. So I would just, like I try to empathize with all sides. So I really dig the video. I really dig the point you're making. But as with all things, everything's very very nuanced, and that we shouldn't give Christians a pass for that condescending attitude that they have a lot of times, thinking that just because they're Christian, well, they automatically have the high road. No, most times you don't. Most times you're on the lowest road you could be on, and it takes a very blunt person to point it out. But I really do actually love the sentiment of this video because we should be conscious in our interactions with human beings about how we're representing ourselves. I can't tell you how many people, when I'm having a very positive conversation with a theist, will be like, damn, I thought he was the raging atheist. It was Ocean's first impression was like, he's the raging atheist. He's not going to like me. I'm a theist. You know, you have to present the best version of yourself to give people a chance. Maybe I would have never become friends with Ocean had I not been allowed to be just normal, just to put that anger away. And it's fairly easy because Ocean's a cool dude and he puts you at ease. But it's a great point. We should be cordial with each other, especially when we're interacting directly. Remember that humanity. Show the best face. Makes it a lot harder for them to talk shit about you. They still will, but it makes them hypocrites.
atheists. Just like there are a lot of respectful and kind religious people, and it just in general, be kind to one another. It doesn't matter what race, gender, sexuality, religion you are. You have to be respectful.
Yeah, I agree, Immutable, but sometimes that fuck you, you're an asshole method is what's needed. It just depends on the person. I think sometimes I've used that method when I shouldn't have. With the Rabbi Lewis situation, I don't think I should have got mad and kicked him out. But with Darth Dawkins, definitely. I definitely should. Like, I feel good that I told him to go fuck himself.
Towards one another. You can't be hateful. This is the biggest problem that we have, especially when it comes to politics. We can't come to an agreement, and there's just a lot of relationships are strained because of their differences clashing and them just hating each other for it. That's not what we should be doing. I dislike a lot of things. I strongly just dislike a lot of things and a lot of people's point of view on certain situations. But I'm not going to. I try not to be hateful. I try not to be angry at them. It can be hard. I know it can be hard at times, when you just can't believe what they're saying. But if you expect if you expect for them to come to a logical conclusion, come to a logical decision, and to come to a realization of what how they're treating others and what they're spreading, what they're preaching, then you have to make sure that you're setting a good example, that you are, representing yourself in a.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the major dilemmas of the atheist activism movement. Being active for normalizing atheism is what picture of atheism do you want to portray? So I get attacked by a lot of atheists myself, especially when I was more of the raging atheist when I was first starting, and there was so much anger involved in my videos back then that atheists would come at me and like, hey, you are not a good representative for our movement. You are not a good representative for atheism. And I'm like, fuck you, dude. I'm an atheist. What's a good fucking representative for an atheist? But as I've grown, I've come to realize that there is that, because we shouldn't feed into those narratives that they put out about us. And I was one of the biggest ones doing it. I have to grow beyond that. I have to get better. I have to not react with emotion like I do sometimes. You know, so yeah. So I'm right back to agreement with Immutable and Sassy here, that I think that is important. I still think it's important that sometimes you have to be a man. You have to show them, I will not budge. I will not be pushed around. Fuck you. I think that is important sometimes. But I think showing that best face possible is usually the best answer, and I need to get better at it.
The best way. You can't expect others to be nice and to be civil and to understand you and to understand others and to be accepting when you're not doing it yourself. When you are hating someone because of different belief, you are being just like them. You're being hateful, disrespectful, not judgmental, not being accepting. And so I just really hope that, I just really hope that a lot of people can just realize, that we just we it's okay to have different opinions from others. It'd be boring whether and it would be boring if we didn't have different views on things. But we just have to be respectful towards one another. We can't be hateful. And I've seen a lot of hateful, uh, you know, reactions towards others. And a lot of times in situations, people.
And I do appreciate that, because, this video is coming after the Rachel Oates video. So she's already dealt with hateful comments from Christians towards atheists. So now she's kind of dealing with the reverse side of that. It's a good angle. And I think that more atheists should recognize some of the toxic behavior in our community. So yeah, I think that's a good little flip. I'm glad that I covered both of those videos. I just really thought about it here now is, hey, she doesn't really have to justify shitty Christian behavior because she did that in a past video. Now she's talking about shitty atheist behavior. That's the point of the video. I think it's a good point. So yes, I have to take that little criticism back, Sassy. I think I understand now.
React instead of responding. We need to, when we're talking to someone, and if we are faced with confrontation, then, or faced with a situation, we need to respond and not react. Reacting cannot it does not get us anywhere. It does more harm than good at times. Not all the time, but at times, depending on the situation. And so I just want everyone to, I hope everyone learned something from this video, and um, I really hope that we can see a big difference when it comes to each other's different beliefs, and we can be more respectful and to not push our beliefs onto others, because that is a big problem. That is not right. You shouldn't do that either. You can tell people what you believe in without trying to make them believe in.
Again, I agree, but I have to say nuance. So, yeah, you shouldn't push beliefs on other people, and you shouldn't allow other people to push beliefs on you. But when it comes to truth, well, you should never be shy with the truth. I'm a big believer in advocating for truth, and if it's a universal truth, if true is true, and if it's true, then you should push it, and that will include that you will be wrong on something that might not be true, that you think is true. So there, but if you truly believe something is the truth, and this is the justification for Christians all the time because they truly believe that God is the truth, but no, true is true. So if we're talking climate change, and somebody says they don't believe in climate change, well, then you should push right back on that because climate change is true. It's fucking happening. What might not be true are the different scientists' conclusion of where it's going to lead us. But one thing is true is that climate change is happening. And you should not allow people to push mistruth because then we get Donald Trump, who is now repealing every fucking environmental regulation that's ever fucking existed. If you don't know what's going on, you need to find out because it's happening right fucking now.
Believe in it too.
And not you, Sassy. I'm just kind of went off on a little political tangent there. I've been catching up on my news today too.
So that's it for today. I hope you all like this video, and I hope you all can learn from it. And if you are someone that has been disrespectful and judgmental in the past towards other people because they don't believe in what you believe in, then I really hope that you can realize it and to learn from your mistakes and to be more respectful and loving and caring and compassionate, and have to have more civil conversations with others without there being arguing and insulting. And that goes to everyone. Just be respectful, be kind, be loving, be non-judgmental, and be civil. I hope you all like this video. Thank you. Bye.
All right, so great message. I think that's one thing that I've really taken away from Sassy's channel is she's trying to have positive messages. Can't knock that at all. Definitely a different direction than the Raging Atheist took, but what can you expect from a guy named the Raging Atheist? But I do like her positive videos. I do like the fact that she has already exhibited room to grow. She's already exhibited that she is willing to look at past behaviors and say, hey, that was wrong, and apologize for that. She's willing to look at her own side now and see some bad behavior and point that out. I think she's got all the makings to be a great YouTuber. As I said, camera presence will grow, camera angles and editing and all that stuff. You'll figure that out as you go. And, the more you dabble, the more you experiment, the better your shit's going to get. So I highly, highly recommend Sassy. Check her out, watch her grow. Like I said, with One Atheist, One Witch, that it's rare to find a good channel and to kind of grow with them. And people have commented on with me from the very beginning is, oh man, I'm so glad that I found you now when you're first starting, and they're still watching me today. I think that's kind of what makes YouTube so special. Maybe is it, you talk reality TV, it's reality now. Some people fuck it up, but some people really try to give you that reality. Sassy's one of them. So we are going to take hopefully a quick intermission. I'm going to put on my music. I'm going to go fill up my drink. Well, I'm going to go and I'm going to send Sassy a link. It'll be Zoom. So Sassy, if you don't have Zoom, you'll have to upload it. Really easy. Shouldn't take you long. And we're going to hopefully be able to get Zoom into my Streamlabs without any issues and not have to stop the stream and start a new one. And hopefully, just a short little interview to talk to her about her channel. We did get her over 100 subs, so let's try to get her to 110. Go subscribe to Sassy. I will be back, and Sassy, I'll be sending that link in just a moment. Sassy, just a second. They can hear us. Hopefully, I can hear you once I get you in the stream. Just a second. All right, we are going to try to get Sassy in here right now. So let's see if this is going to work. If not, I might have to start a new stream for this little interview. So we're going to try really quick. Yeah, there you are. All right, speak, Sassy. See if they can hear you. You froze. All right. Crap. Gotta love it when that happens. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start a new stream. So we will have a separate interview with Sassy. See you guys in like 5 minutes.